So Quentin Tarantino really liked Joker 2 or Joker Folie à Deux. He said, I really, really liked it. Really, a lot. Todd Phillips is the Joker. The Joker directed the movie, the entire concept. Even him spending the studio's money, he's spending it like the Joker would spend it. Yeah, in a lot of ways, he's right. If you go back to Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight and he had all that piles of cash, he just lit it on fire. Why? Because he's the Joker. So Todd Phillips is the same way. He took $20 million from DC Studios, pocketed that cash, and just burned the film. Just say, here's your movie. Tarantino would continue to say, he's saying F you to all of them. He's saying F you to the movie audience. He's saying F you to Hollywood. He's saying F you to anybody who owns any stock at DC. Now listen, the DC is under Warner Discovery, and their CEO is horrible. So I can understand if he said F you to them. But Todd Phillips is if I go back to that point, Todd Phillips had creative control over that movie, over Joker 1. Like I don't understand why he's mad. Like they gave him the budget. He made the film. It made $1 billion. It made him money. Fans loved him. Like, I don't know why he's mad at the audience. The audience just say, hey man, we love this film. We love Joker. We made us $1 billion. Like, what's the deal? Todd Phillips is a very talented director, right? Like, he did Old School of Will Ferrell. He did against the Hangover. He did Joker. So he's a talented guy, but it almost feels like, to me, he's almost masochistic. It's like he wants to make a blockbuster. He wants to make a hit, but then when it becomes a hit, he's beating himself up saying, why did I make a hit? It's the craziest thing. I don't quite understand it. The one thing that Tarantino said in the interview, he said a couple of things. He mentioned how great Joaquin Phoenix was, and Joaquin is great. But he did mention how Joker 2 reminded him of Natural Born Killers. Now, Quentin wrote the original script of Natural Born Killers, but then he took the name off the credits when the studio took it over, and Oliver Stone, who directed it, and his other co-writers just totally revised it. But the base of the stories is Quentin Tarantino. So he probably did see echoes of Natural Born Killer in that film. Just like he said also that the Joker was a nod to Taxi Driver, De Niro's Taxi Driver. But I also feel like it was a nod to De Niro's Taxi Driver and De Niro's King of Comedy. But let's get to the Natural Born Killers thing. When Quentin Tarantino said that, because he said he liked the chemistry between Joaquin and Lady Gaga. Well, I agree. They had great chemistry with each other all the way through. Like, you were kind of rooting for them to win. Like, you was rooting for Arthur for this win. You was rooting for her to be with this dude, and be with her. They had a really good chemistry with each other. But when he said Natural Born Killers, it's like, you know what? They could have took the beginning of that film, kept it as it is, and then actually turned it into a version of Natural Born Killers. Those two get out of Arkham, and then have them go on some type of spree, and then something crazy stuff happens, them just on the road or doing whatever, and then you can bring back the court scenes where him as the Joker. So I guess that would have been a conventional comic book movie where you have the beginning, they're in Arkham, and then that part where they're watching the film and then craziness happens. They escape Arkham. They do, the middle part is just them causing mayhem. Then they get caught, or he gets caught. She's still out there. And then you bring back the courtroom scene where he's dressed as the Joker, talking like he's from To Kill a Mockingbird. And then the ending could have gone the way they wanted it, which sucks, or they could have gone a different way. So yeah, it would have been cooler if there was a Natural Born Killers bent to it, but there's nothing you can do about it. But Quentin Tarantino's not alone. There's quite a few people who feel like that down the road Joker 2 will be appreciated for its originality. And again, it's a very original concept, and I didn't mind the musicals. Like, even Tarantino said he kind of liked the musical part of it. Some people say it was too much. It might have been too much, but there are parts that I really liked. But they could have done without it. But it's interesting what he said also about Joaquin Phoenix, when he said that he said that this is like his best acting role ever. And to be honest, I'll bookend the two. Like, he was fantastic in that first film. He's also great in the second one, but I'm telling you, he was fantastic in that first one. Joaquin Phoenix, by the time it's done, will be regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Like, he never gets that talk. Like, if you look at the films that he's done, Joker 1 and 2, Walk the Line, Her with Scarlett Johansson. Her was fantastic. I love Her. Signs, Gladiator. He originally popped up in that in the Nicole Kidman film where she played the teacher and she convinced the two teenage boys to kill her husband or something like that, To Die For, I think. I can't remember the title. He was great, and that's when he first started. So when the years down the road where Joaquin Phoenix gets his AFI award and you start seeing the movies that he was in, you're gonna start saying like, man, that guy was really talented. Like we did not give him enough praise during his prime. And the funny thing is, when he started out, he wasn't even the best actor in his family. That was River Phoenix. It was River Phoenix and Johnny Depp. Like they had next. River Phoenix was that dude. He was kind of like the next Brad Pitt in a lot of ways. What we see from Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, is what River Phoenix was supposed to have been. That Leo was River. River was super talented, man. But unfortunately, he OD'd. And when he OD'd, man, everything just came crashing down. But because of that, DiCaprio filled that role. And Joaquin filled that role. It's almost like they're the sons, they're the brothers of, it's like his real brother, and as Leonardo could have been his little brother. They just kind of filled that void that River Phoenix left. And Joaquin has become a very fantastic actor. This is not Jim Belushi after John Belushi. No offense to Jim Belushi. Shout out to Jim Belushi. But Joaquin Phoenix is a very talented actor. But yeah, so Tarantino, he loved the Joker. Joker 2. And that's his opinion. The fans don't agree. It's going to be interesting when it finally goes to streaming, because I think it starts streaming this week. How people who didn't go see it in the films, how if they like it or not. Because I think there's anticipation now of the audience, because people have been saying how bad the film is, and now people become curious. With the first one, people are saying how great it is. And so people like my dad, who doesn't even watch comic movies, he became curious and he watched it and he liked it because he came from that area where he saw Taxi Driver and all these Scorsese films and Goodfellas and all these things and De Niro. So it got him just being a casual fan. I'm wondering, because it crashed so hard, will people who initially were afraid to go see it or didn't see the Joker at all, but now they're curious about, let me see what it's like. Or even people who like musicals who maybe didn't like the violence of the first Joker. Maybe they'll actually tune in to watch this Joker just to see the musical element of it. I do think Joker 2 will do well in streaming, just from the curiosity standpoint. Now, will it change people's minds? I don't know. Will people start feeling like Tarantino? I don't know. Or will they be like Critical Drinker and Emergency Awesome? And all these comic book guys on YouTube that covers comic books will say, like, no, man, what happened? Like, you guys had this in the palm of your hand. But I have a question for you before I go. If I'm a studio, if you had a studio, would you hire Todd Phillips? Todd Phillips is a really good director. Now, I think I would hire him, but then if the film's a hit, I would not hire him for the sequel. Because he can't direct sequels well, for me. And two, it seems like he catches an attitude because you're trying to make him make a sequel. So it's like, no, if I hire Todd Phillips for my studio and we have a hit, I will keep him on as producer of the next film, but he cannot touch that second film. But what do you go the other way? What Todd Phillips did with Joker 2, will that hurt him in Hollywood? Where studios might say, man, we got this great film. What about Todd Phillips? I don't know, man. Like he's a loose cannon. Like, you don't know. Like, does he like if he give him notes, will he be mad at us? Will he sabotage this great flick? We don't know. Like, at the end of Joker 1, Todd Phillips could have directed any film that he wanted. Even when Joker 2 was being made, he still could have got any films he wanted. Now, studios might be like, I don't know, do we want that headache? See, the thing about Tarantino is Tarantino makes his own type of films, but Tarantino understands that you have to make money and the audience have to like you for it to work. Todd Phillips isn't that guy. James Cameron is like an anti-filmmaker too, but James Cameron realized, no, I got to make money. Yeah, I'm great. I don't like the system, but I need to make money. It's like if he crashed Avatar 2, that would have been ridiculous. Damn it, Todd Phillips. You had it in your hands, but I guess you wanted to be like the Joker.